Hello YouTube, Jared here with another video, and I have officially completed my third army for the challenge. This Necron army is now painted and based and over 2,000 points. In fact, this is a 2,785 point army, at least until they change the points here in the next week or so. But I am pretty sure I'm safely over the 2,000 point mark. So this army is now the third army complete. I am so excited to finally showcase my completed Necron army, at least before I take it up into a 5,000 point army, eventually.
Wargaming with Jared. Let's build an army.
So, diving into this army, I want to talk a little bit about my list building ideas with this army. What I have, how it all kind of synergizes, and then where I want to take this army. I kind of showcased where I got some of these models last time. I got a couple starter boxes 3 years ago from 9th edition. I got Imperium Magazine. In a big trade lot that gave me the Imperial Court with some of these guys. I bought one of the reanimators on eBay back in the day. And of course, the Silent King was my big Christmas present this last Christmas. So super excited about all of that. I'll start with the big guy since he is the fun one. Such a fun kit to paint. This is one of those models where you can paint it in as many colors or as few colors as you wanted. I tried to pull in all of the different shades of green and all the different metallics across all of the rest of the army into this model, just so it had a little bit more characteristic. You can see some of the paint on the back. So I've got the bronzes, I've got the lead belcher, I got some golds, and then I tried to use a different gold on him than all of the other guys who have golds on him. And so his gold's a little bit more subdued, and then a little bit of Reichland flesh shade to kind of pop it out so it's a little bit more aged looking. And then I got that triad of colors that I used to do these bits, and then the kind of the floating totems next to him. So that's obviously the center point of the army. He'll be the big damage dealer in 2,000 plus point games. And then for the rest of the squad, one of the things that I really love about Necrons is every Necron unit has its own job. And so you have heroes that move fast, heroes that kind of hold the line, heroes that are good at taking over a command point. They all kind of have their own job and their own little specialization. And then you have your more standard infantry and you have your specialist infantry. And so these guys are really there to kind of hold a point. These guys are there to either precision kill off heroes or to be more tanky against whatever you're fighting. Super excited now that I have two reanimators. These guys will pair up very nicely with the regular rank and file and allow me to bring even more models back. So that's going to be super fun to play in the new game, or in the new edition, I should say. And the other thing I'm super excited with, it sounds like the Royal Warden and I assume the Overlord will be able to be taken in the same squad now, because it's kind of a captain-lieutenant situation, leader support. And then you take a double squad of the warriors, which gives you full 20 block of them. So 20 block plus 2 heroes plus a reanimator standing behind them. And then it sounds like that when models die and you bring them back, you can bring models back even if the squad was wiped out, which you can't do in the current edition, in 10th edition. So in 11th edition, it sounds like that's something we're going to do. Now, we'll see how long we can do that. Is it overpowered, underpowered? Does it get removed from the game for it being too powerful? But I'm really excited to see how that works. And then I, of course, love my little scarabs. So I have almost a full max complement of these. I have 2 squads of 6 and a squad of 3. I'm going to add another squad of 3 to this just because I have the Imperium Magazine. And then I think I'll be overstocked on scarabs. I might even have some extras that I won't even bother building. But maybe I'll use them for base bits for the big spider that can kind of go with them. But I do love the scarabs. They are amazing for screens. They don't do a lot of damage. They have little biting teeth that do nothing. But you can use them to do mortal wounds. So they can explode and then come back. And so a squad of 6 of them is great for getting in the face of a tank or an infantry squad, kind of keeping your infantry safe from being countercharged. And so they're really great for stopping charges. I think they have a fly keyword too, so they can jump over stuff to go try to blow somebody up, cause problems. If there's an injured hero hiding on the other end of the field, you can go take him out with a squad of flying angry bug landmines, basically. So lots of potential in terms of that. precision squad of these death marks can do some really damage. And then my favorite here, I shouldn't say my favorite, they're all kind of my favorite. These guys have rules where they can overwatch, and I think they hit on 2s or 3s in overwatch instead of 6s. And so you can pretty much count on them doing 2 or 3 points of damage in your opponent's turn. If you move out of cover, they're going to take some pistol shots at you. And I think it's 6 shots hitting on 2s. So pretty solid against anything that isn't heavily elite. Of course, we got the big gun. He's a lot of fun. This guy, the big cannon, and the Silent King will be doing a lot of damage. And then I finally got the Scorpec Lord. This guy, oh, I cannot wait to see him on the field. And I have enough of his double-bladed companions to take a reinforced squad. And so him in a reinforced squad where they can revive models, ooh, that's going to be fun. He's going to absolutely chop some heads. And, of course, he's got a gun, so he's going to be able to actually shoot something when they're running into combat and you fail your charge. So that is going to be double trouble. So much fun on that. And then I, of course, now have 2 of their little robot droids. Other thing that I thought that was really fun is these guys. I didn't really know what was going on with them. I think they're just like Cryptok stalkers or something. I had to look their lore up. These are actually overlords who got brain damage, and they weren't quite dead, so they kind of put them into thrall bodies. So I don't really know too much about how they play. I'm going to have to learn how to play them, but they look really cool. And then I just have every flavor of Mancer. So Technomancer, Chronomancer, Psychomancer. We can hit you with a Time Blast. We can hit you with a Psychic Blast or Exploding Blast. And then this guy has the Teleportation Shroud, so he can teleport across the map. So lots of exciting, fun stuff there. I have some extra bits. So I'm debating if I'm going to keep the Scythe on this guy or kit batshit off. He does have the orb too. So still making up my mind, but there's lots of stuff I can do with this Necron army. But really happy with it. And then I have over 2,000 points of sprues. I'm going to try to kit bash some of the characters in my own kind of custom Dynasty style here. So there'll be my version of Orkan and my version of Trazen. I am reading the Infinite and Divine right now when I have time, but I have grad school, so I don't get a lot of time to read fun books. But eventually I'm going to finish that book, and I'm enjoying it. But I'm going to have my own version of the hero so I can use the hero's rules. And then Chronomancer, really love this model. Though he did get a tiny little piece chipped off of him, so that made me a little sad. But I was really happy with his kind of little floating cube that came out. And hearing how it's described in the book where they're kind of able to capture, freeze time and capture people is a really cool idea. So I can't wait to see how he plays on the table. But overall, this is my Necron army. There's lots more fun coming, but I'm going to wait a couple months before I add to it. I'll be adding a few models here and there just for the fun of it. But of all my armies, this is probably the one I'm expecting to play the most because it has lots of variety, because I have ways I can expand on it. And this army is just kind of near and dear to my heart. I've played it a few times, actually gotten it to the table and piloted it, and it's just such a fun time. I really love Necron. So as much as I like my Space Marines, as much as I love my Tau, the Necrons here are, I think, for now, my favorites. But I've got more Chaos Space Marines to build. I've got Eldari. I've got Orcs. So that title might be taken away. But right now, they're kind of going into 11th edition as my favorite. So we'll see what happens. You'll have to subscribe and stay tuned to see for that. And then I've still got, let's see, 3 armies done. And that means to get 11 armies done, I need 8 more armies. And so I have 3 armies done, 3 armies half done. And then the rest of it is still coming soon. And then I have a couple half armies I want to build too. So I appreciate your subscribes, your likes, your comments. Let me know below if you could add a Necron to your Necron army. What would you recommend I add to this army? What should be the first thing I paint? Should it be more Wraths? I've got some of the Treyarch or Praetorian Guard or whatever they're called. The big Stalker thing. There's a couple things I could add. So what would you add to this Necron army first? I know we don't have the updated rules completely for the next edition, but you know, this is going to be a 5,000 point mega army. What would you add next to this? So let me know in the comments. I appreciate it as always. Have a great day.